Okay, so many of you started into YouTube Shorts. There actually have been some channels that have exploded in the last few months just because of that 15-second video. Many of you have reached out to me and asked me how to get more views on my YouTube Shorts, or even how did that channel get so many views on that one video. I share a lot of tips on my channel and analyze other channels so I can give you more information on how to grow your channels. Now, YouTube Shorts are very different in length, but not different in how you keep people watching. Now, in previous videos, I mentioned the retention is very important. That is key to get that video pushed out more. So in this video, I want to share with you some tips on how to keep people watching all the way through, and some examples of channels and videos that have gone viral, and why I think they have gone viral. Okay, so the first thing is the hook. You need to grab people into your video. Many times people will jump straight into the video, or even worse, they'll talk about something random at the beginning and it just is so boring and distracting that people click off. Last year, I created 118 videos, and I learned a lot through that process. I learned that I need to double down on the content that people enjoy. I learned that quality is better over quantity. And I learned that the hook is very important. The beginning is the hardest part for me, and it always has been, but I am gradually and continually working on this part. YouTube Shorts is no different than a regular video. Once they're on that Shorts video, then what? It really depends on the hook, whether you've grabbed their attention or not. Sometimes I watch videos and get halfway through and I'm just like, what the heck, how did I get to this point? That's because they've hooked me in so well that I need to keep watching. The second thing is suspense. Sometimes keeping people in suspense can actually keep them watching all the way through. So once you've hooked them and you've got them on the video, how can you keep them watching all the way through? Well, that comes down to keeping them in suspense. Maybe you're doing a quick 30-second haircutting tutorial. That's keeping them in suspense. How it's going to turn out. Will it look good or will it look bad? It also ties into the thumbnail whether or not you've kept them in suspense by getting them to click on that thumbnail. This really can work for any channel. It could even work for my channel. Maybe there's a secret tip that I want to share right at the end of the video. Maybe I'm sharing tips about YouTube growth, and I could leave the best to last. The key is to keep them wondering what is going to happen next. Okay, so number 3 is entertainment. Well, you say, Catherine, I have a cooking channel. How is this going to be entertaining? Well, how can you get creative and fun with it? There could be fast cuts. There could be sound effects. Or you could be a very funny person behind the camera, so let your humor come out. Another way to entertain is by doing something really big. Maybe you're trying a recipe out for the very first time on your channel and you're filming it. Or maybe you're trying to cook on a budget for a big family. How can you do that? People want to watch that stuff because they want to learn, but they also want to be entertained. Majority of people who entertain on YouTube do very well. Number 4 is how-to. Now, another great way to have a viral video is to share a how-to video. You could share crafts that have never been done before, or creating a life-size balloon figure of one of your favorite YouTubers. That's entertaining. It's a how-to, and it's keeping me in suspense because I want to know how the finished product will turn out. When it comes to videos, do something that is different, that will stand out, that will get your channel noticed within that big crowd. Okay, so the next one is editing style. Sometimes the editing style can do wonders for a video. Like I mentioned in a previous point, use sound effects, use jump cuts, use fast transitions. It can take a normal video and entertain people in a different way. Peter McKinnon always mentions how sounds can really take a video up a notch. It might be voice effects, it might be sound effects whenever you're doing a certain action. For example, if you watch Bon Appetit, Brad, it's from It's Alive, the series that he does on that channel, has a ton of sound effects on his videos. And that keeps you watching because it's entertaining with his personality. So sometimes just the sound effects can keep you watching to the very end. Number 6 is the thumbnails enticing. Not necessarily do you have to create a specific thumbnail for the YouTube Shorts, but some channels have just to make sure it looks, the same with their channel and cohesive. But majority of the time, you can just leave it as the screen grab. But if you do this, make sure the screen grab relates to the video or it grabs the attention. For example, Will Smith actually did a YouTube short. There was a screen grab of him doing something within that YouTube short on the thumbnail. It was not enticing at all, and I did not click on it. A lot of other people didn't either. You may say, well, he gets thousands of views. Well, that's great. But he was getting thousands of views, but not his normal rate. What was happening was just not clicking with the audience. About an hour later, I noticed a different screen grab had been put up. And I think that was because the previous one was not enticing enough. So if you're not creating thumbnails specifically for the YouTube short, make sure the screen grab that is showing up within that is actually enticing so that people will click on it. You just need a thumbnail that's going to stop people in their tracks. Okay, so let's look at some channels that have had viral videos. Now there's one channel that I've mentioned here before. It's a smaller channel and she had a viral video. And then the other 2 channels that I'm going to mention are bigger channels, but we can learn lots from them. Okay, so a while back I mentioned ritualistic beauty. I actually mentioned her in a video along with the other subscribers that have had successful YouTube Shorts. So I mentioned that she had a video that go viral and it was at 400K. It is now currently sitting at 5.6 million. That video went viral because of many reasons. I'm going to share with you why. The first reason why it went viral was because she looked at her previous content and saw what videos that did well on her channel. So for this one, it was the Betty Bangs, and it did really well. So she decided to take pieces from that, cut it into a short form video, and put it up as a short. And it went viral. So that's the first thing that she did right, was look at her content that was doing really well, that was standing out, and repurpose it. She repurposed it in a way that kept people watching. The second reason was it kept people watching all the way through. I mentioned the suspense part of it, and when cutting hair, a lot of the time people want to see if it fails or if they have a successful haircut. This, it could have gone either way. And for some reason, people are obsessed with watching hair cutting videos. It's just something that's a trendy topic to watch. Which leads me into the third one, it was something different. I mentioned in the previous tip that you need to be unique, different with your videos and stand out from the rest of the hairstyle or the beauty gurus. This was an alternative hairstyle. It's not the same as every other straight or hair up in a bun style. It was something different. The reason why it went viral is because people have never really seen this before. There's a lot of different countries that are seeing this for the first time, and this was something in the past, recreating it from the past, and so it was different. That's what kept people watching, and that's why it went viral. Okay, so the next channel we're gonna look at is Mr. Beast, and he has a short channel designated just for YouTube Shorts. Now, I mentioned in the past that you can incorporate it into your channel, or you can have a separate channel. With Mr. Beast, he's decided to go and have a separate channel, mostly because he's doing a lot of different tests. I noticed on his YouTube Shorts that he's doing longer, shorter, no thumbnail, like he's testing a bunch of different things out. There's lots that we can learn from Mr. Beast's channel and from him in general. Now, his videos always fall into the entertaining side of things. He does the biggest, most craziest things out there. Now, we may not be able to do the biggest, most craziest things out there because we don't have all that money, but at the same time, we can take some tips away from his channel. He creates videos that keep people watching all the way through. Each video hooks you in. The first 3 to 5 seconds, or in his longer form content, the first 15 to 30 seconds is always the most important part. Some of them are very simple, and it's just insane how simple they are, and they still do very well. But majority of his videos, he tries to push the limits. Same goes for us. How can we turn that cooking video into 30 seconds of non-stop entertainment? I think what it comes down to when looking at his channel is sitting down and actually brainstorming each video you do and taking time to see how it would appeal to the audience. Someone created a TV show and they just randomly started putting it up, or they're not even thinking about it, it would not do well. Majority of the time, those videos don't do well. You need to have some thought behind each video and how you can keep the person watching. And the last channel that we're going to refer to is 5-Minute Crafts. Now, another big, very established channel, but I want to refer to it. Now, I mentioned in previous tip that how-tos do really well. This is a great example of that. How-tos or 5-minute crafts you want to watch because some of them are just so random and crazy, but also you want to see what happens at the end and how they work and how they turn out. Sometimes when you watch these videos, you're like, does it work? Will it look good? And how does that even happen? The key is to create good, short videos, and that goes for any videos and on any platform. And I think with 5-Minute Crafts, they've done a really good job of doing that. Their longer form content is very fast paced, but also it gives you a lot of random things you can do for crafts. And sometimes you have those crafts that are just useless. They do that as a way to entertain, but also show you how to. So what I think I've taken away from this whole video that I just shared with you is that research and sitting down and thinking about that person behind, the screen there watching you, and thinking about how can I get them to watch? Will it be funny? Will it keep them in suspense? Are there key points all the way through it? Those, in my opinion, are things that I need to work on, but also if maybe it can help you with a viral video that you could create. Anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, just analyzing a little bit of other YouTube Shorts, but also giving you some tips of what I've researched and found, just like watching all these different channels and all these different viral videos. I've taken some really interesting points away from this, and I hope you have too. I have set up a YouTube Shorts playlist for you, so you can go binge watch through that. There's some really good videos on YouTube Shorts in that playlist, so make sure you go check it out. And as always, guys, don't forget to create adventure and live to inspire. Have a good one.